What's up, everyone? Welcome to this Nike build slash kit discussion. Nike is the newest god in Smite, and I'm guessing if you're watching this, you probably already know this. So some of you may have already heard about what her abilities do. Some of you may have even played her in PTS. So this video is going to be mainly for kind of doing a general overview of everything. So what her kit does, what build you might want to use, how you might use her basic attacks in the solo lane, and kind of utilizing that when you're boxing. So I'm going to go into kind of all of it, and the first thing I want to talk about is, of course, her kit. So um, it's pretty simple. There's not too much to understand about it. The biggest thing is that her two plan of action is a stim for all of her other abilities. So when you activate the two, the next ability that you use will get an extra effect. So the one called Rend is basically a wave clear ability. She takes her big axe and slams it on the ground twice, doing damage. If you activate the two, you'll get an extra strike on that, which will also give you a disarm. Um, the 3 is her leap ability. This is her main initiation and escape tool. It's a pretty slow ability. She jumps pretty high in the air to use it. And what the 2 does on it is if you activate the 2 first, the leap will be a lot quicker and it will take less time to do it. So that's actually a good kind of combo for escaping. If you really need to get out quickly, you can activate the plan of action first and then leap out. The leap also does a knock up if you hit an enemy with it, or multiple enemies, whatever. So that's the 3. Her ultimate, called Sentinel of Zeus, basically a buff slash AoE damaging ability. When she activates it, she transforms into her armored Sentinel form, and it will deal damage, and it will also slow enemies around her. And she also gains a 40% health shield. Now, when she activates the 2 on this, she will, instead of 40% shield, she'll get a 60% health shield, and the slow will be 60%. So this is a very strong ability. I've used her a little bit in PTS. The ultimate is very, very good. It's a great tool for if you're getting ganked. I kind of think of it as like a Vamana ultimate in that way. If Vamana gets ganked, all he has to do is hit 4. He'll get some extra healing. He'll be a little bit tankier, and he can kind of walk out. That's how I've been using this ultimate for Nike in the early game once you get to like level 5. So she's very safe as far as being ganked. She is very tanky, almost like a guardian type of solo laner. That being said, I think her best role is definitely in the solo lane. Her CC is pretty good with the knockup, but it's not great. She doesn't have any stuns or roots, anything that holds people in place. She doesn't really have that. She just has the knockup and the slow and the ultimate. She also has the disarm. So I'd stick to her in the solo lane. That's just me. And finally, we're going to talk about the passive. So the passive, it's pretty interesting. Definitely a new concept. She has 3 goals that she has to complete throughout a match, and these are collective team goals. So the first one is you have to eliminate 10 gods as a team. The second one is that you have to eliminate 200 minions as a team. And then the third is that at least 2 of your allies need to reach level 20. And then each goal that you complete will give you bonus power and bonus movement speed. Um, so you don't have to complete these in order. You can do them whatever goal you complete first. That will be the first one that goes towards your passive. So looking at this, the first goal you're probably going to complete if you're playing is going to be the second goal, eliminate 200 minions as a team. So if you do the math out on this, and we're looking at Conquest specifically, in order to kill 200 minions as a team, you have to think about the 3 different lanes that is in Conquest. So if you divide 200 minions divided by 3 lanes, that means each lane has to kill 66.333 minions. Looking at this about how many waves, that means because there's 6 minions in a wave, that means you have to kill about 11 waves, because 66 divided by 6 is 11. Um, and you also have to think about the fact that waves spawn every 30 seconds, which means that if each lane is going to kill 11 waves in order to get that first goal, it's going to take about 5.5 to 6 minutes. Now, this is also assuming that you're going to get the last hit on every minion in every wave, which does not happen. And it also does not take into account jungle camp minions, because if you kill a jungle camp minion, that will also go towards this passive. So there could be a range between like 6 minutes to like 8 minutes before you're going to get that first goal, and then the other 2 are going to probably be mid to late game. Killing 10 gods as a team can take up to like 15-20 minutes, depends on the match. And then reaching level 20, of course, that's more of like a late game type of thing. So she's not going to get any early advantages from her passive. She's only going to be like a mid to late game. She's only going to get advantages of it from the mid to late game. So that's how you want to think about her passive, and especially how it works in Conquest. Um, Going off into her build and how I've been building her, you can see I have something in the bottom left. There's been a lot of discussion about should you build her ability focus and do some cooldown, or should you go into attack speed. I think you can go both. Um, this is actually a build that a lot of soul laners are going into. I think it works very well in her, so you don't have to change too much with her. Maybe go into double cooldown, maybe get like a Jotun's Wrath, or Spear Robe does give you cooldown as well. So if you get Breastplate of Valor, Spear Robe on her, you're going to have enough cooldown. Because I do think she's an ability damage focused. And the reason I say that is because of her attack chain. So her attack chain is very strange. We're going to go to Odin and talk about it. She has 2 cleaves. Her first 2 attacks are cleaves, and then her third one does extra damage. So her first 2 attacks do half of her basic attack damage, and then her third one does 150%. So you get an extra 50% damage on the third attack. So what I think would probably be the best way to play her in the solo lane is to use the cleaves as her wave clear, and then on the third attack, if you're boxing someone, use the third attack on the god. Oops, it didn't work. 1, 2, and then use the third attack on the whoever you're boxing. So if you're in lane and you're boxing someone, you're also trying to clear the wave. Because the cleave will hit multiple enemies, you can use those first 2 on them, and then use the power attack afterwards. So that's something to keep in mind when you're laning with her. Save the final attack. Maybe even, let's say you're not even boxing anyone, but you're in the soul lane. Save the power attack for the brute who's in the wave, just to do that extra damage on the really tanky minion. So that's just kind of a strategy for her. I don't think that she should be basic attack focused in her build. No need to build like Shin Size or like Itch of All, and I don't even know what other basic attack items you would use. You can do like Wing Blade if you're playing against the slow, but I would stick to Bluestone first to get that extra damage, the extra clear. Then go into Warrior Tabi Boots, Breastplate of Valor. You can go into Witchblade if you need it. And then you can finish up with Frostbound, of course, if that's something that you're interested in. So we'll go into fighting Raw. We'll see if he's been bugged recently, so I'll see if he actually... Nope, he's still bugged. That's okay. We'll just kind of go into her combos and the best ways that I think you should kind of fight with her. So I usually use the 2 to either buff the 1 or the 4. If you do find yourself in a tricky situation and you need to leap out a little bit quicker and you have the 2 available, you can use it for that. But I really like to use the 2 for the 1 most of the time, and then also I want to save it for the ult, because having the extra 20% health shield and the extra slow makes the ult so much better. So that's really what you're going to want to do. That's just at least how I use her. So again, you can activate the 2, and when you activate the 2, it will stay on her until you use another ability. It will not go away unless you die, or again, as you use another ability. So you don't have to worry about like timing the 2 or anything like that. Once it's activated, it's activated. And as I said, the 1, it will attack 3 times, and on the 3rd time, if you hit the same enemy 3 times with the 1, the 3rd hit will give them a disarm. So very good against hunters. Very, very strong. It's also good against basic attack warriors as well. The leap, as I said, it's pretty slow. Leap takes a good second to kind of land. So if you activate the 2, it'll be quicker. I'll go over to Odin so we can get some of the damage numbers, since, as I said, Raw is bugged right now. So for the ultimate, if you activate the 2, you get 250 damage with this build, of course, at level 11 with the ultimate. And she does look pretty cool. Like, I like her new helmet and stuff in her ult form. But again, you get the 60% shield when you activate the 2, and the biggest thing is it works just like a Khepri shield when he has the passive. The shield just adds on to the health, and then once the shield goes away, you'll go back to whatever amount of health you had before. It's not like you're going to gain any health permanently by using that. It's just a shield for a short duration. And then we can look at the 3 really quick. You can see it's a little bit quicker. And it's not that much quicker. It just, maybe cuts off half a second or maybe 0.2 seconds from the jump. So you can kind of see why I would save the 2 for the 1 instead. and the damage, of course, on the third hit, it will do a little bit of extra damage, and you can see the disarm there. Um, so yeah, that's kind of it. I don't really think there's anything else to talk about. If you guys have other builds that you've been using instead of this one, I would love to hear about it and what is working. I do see her as not an early game god. Her clear is okay at best, but once she gets into those team fights, she's very supporty. She's able to dive past the towers with her leap and the knockup to kind of go after those squishies. So she's very good in tower fights and objectives. The ultimate is also very good for her when she's going into objectives, or if, let's say, she's taking a phoenix. Um, that just allows you, and what you do is you just go in, activate the two, then activate your ults, and you can tank that phoenix forever, and you're gonna shred it down. So she's really gonna thrive in that mid to late game. Um, we'll see how she does in the future. Again, she's still in the PTS, so who knows how she'll be when she's released. I see her as being kind of in the middle. I think Ravana, Osiris, they do beat her up early, but she has that kind of Amaterasu style late game where she really thrives. So that's it. That's my overview of Nike. Again, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.